It's Wednesday, February 5th, and time for your Barbados Today morning news update. Barbados remains on top of developments surrounding the coronavirus. So assures Health Minister Lieutenant Colonel Jeffrey Bostic, who says more medical pro-health personnel are being deployed to the Grantley Adams International Airport to deal with the number of passengers coming into the country. He made the disclosure at a press briefing yesterday to update the public on Monday's discussions held by Caribbean health ministers on the virus.
This is a national effort, so we've asked for some assistance from the Barbados Defense Force, from their medical personnel, to join with Port Health in order to give us some more numbers at ports of entry, particularly at the airport, in order to deal, especially when we have large numbers of flights of persons coming into the country. And we are deploying, obviously, the thermal detectives in full from this evening to be able to assist in that process.
The minister says he is confident in the protocols that have been put in place to protect the country. He, however, says he will not be disclosing the quarantine centers which have been set up on the island.
We have established quarantine centers, but we are not going to make those public, and for obvious reasons. But a quarantine center is being utilized for persons who do not present with the symptoms, so they're not sick, but out of the abundance of caution based on where they're coming from and their risk level, we want to put them under observation for between 10 to 14 days in the event, or the unlikely event, that those symptoms manifest themselves, so that we can then isolate, and those persons would not have been interacting with too many people.
Meantime, Chief Medical Officer Dr. Kenneth George says officials are continuing efforts to ensure that the students in Wuhan, China, remain comfortable and safe.
We have spoken to some parents, and we have tried to convey to them a sense that the Chinese authorities know and have a good handle on the epidemic, and they're giving them good information, so there's no immediate threat to them. So we're going to be working with our Chinese in helping those students understand the level of threat. The government of Barbados, through the embassy located in China, the Barbados Embassy in China, is doing several things behind the scenes to try to make those students more comfortable. And they're working not only with the students but with the parents.
Chefette Restaurants will embark on two major projects over the next 2 years. During a groundbreaking ceremony on Tuesday, the company officially announced the construction of a multi-million-dollar state-of-the-art ice cream manufacturing plant and a meat processing manufacturing plant at its Lears St. Michael's site. It also announced plans for a mega family entertainment center to be constructed at Newton Christchurch. Managing Director Ryan Harloot said the projects are an indication of the company's confidence in the local economy.
And the goal is to make ice cream in Barbados locally for Chefette and to the local market, with the intention to export as well. The second building, and it would use state-of-the-art technology and also obviously having the highest standards so you can export to the region. The second building is 28,000 square feet. It's a 2-story building, and it would be our corporate offices. We're relocating from Wildy and Clapham Court, including our training facility, a modern training facility. And on the ground floor, it would have a meat processing plant that we're relocating from Fontebelle to Lears here. So it's two massive buildings side by side, and it's really our huge push into the manufacturing arm, not only to launch what we call our trademark name, Frosties, that we came up with, to make ice cream locally in Barbados instead of importing it. We're going to sell it to the local market and a wide range of desserts and ice cream products.
Harloot also revealed that the brand could be introduced into other markets within the next 10 years.
Our focus now is Barbados, setting up the infrastructure and the backbone, which is our manufacturing arm, to then jump leaps and bounds forward to get the Chefette brand out of Barbados. Because it's not as simple as just opening a Chefette. Thank you, Sanji. Hit the round of applause. So that's our plan going forward. We eventually want to franchise, but we have to pick the right time and just set up the backbone here, because it's more than just opening Chefette overseas. You have to have all the infrastructure in place, which is our manufacturing arm, which we always kept kind of secret, but we're letting the secret out of the bag. You know, it's Chef Foods, you know, it's Frosty's coming, and we're going big. We always say go big or go home.
A noted economist says government's decision to raise processing fees for packages coming through the postal service should be a cause for concern for the small business community. University of the West Indies lecturer Jeremy Stevens says the hike in user fees from $1.50 to $10 discriminates against small businesses, which are most likely to use the postal service. He tells Barbados Today poor persons are also likely to be affected.
Because it seems as if they look at overall volume from the, or more of an aggregated kind of thing, aggregated approach. I am really left to believe that they just figured a one size fits all. Maybe we process large orders, this should help us manage our costs a bit better. But in effect, you know, it's actually going to be a bit of a regressive tax. Or could be viewed as a regressive tax on small businesses because of the lower volumes there per day or per week that they bring through the post office. So that would tack on, of course, an increase in cost to people, contributing to the already abysmal inflation we've been having, even in a slow economy, and definitely can, at least for the small business sector, and for poor people as well, to result in a contraction of consumption. Maybe that's part of the general plan. I don't know, but it shouldn't be if you're promoting business growth. So it is discriminatory towards, and not intended perhaps, but discriminatory towards larger businesses.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
It's Festive Friday at the Bridgetown Night Market at Pelican Craft Center. Kick off the weekend this Friday from 4 p.m. to midnight with loads of food, drinks, and entertainment. Get ready for Crop Over with the Rhythm Roots Street Parade. Party like it's Kadooman Day on the street around Pelican Village with costume reveler, music, and more. It's Festive Friday. It's Festive Friday at the Bridgetown Night Market at Pelican Village Center from 4 p.m. to midnight. Admission free.
To regional news now, Trinidad and Tobago's health minister believes the travel ban imposed on China in the wake of the coronavirus was the right move for the country. We get more in this report from TV6 News.
A travel ban on anyone who has been in China during a 2-week span before traveling to TNT was imposed by the government on Thursday. Health Minister Terence D'Elsing is confident that it was the right move.
The government is in control of the situation, has been very proactive. What I noticed is that since we announced our 14-day window, do you know Jamaica has followed suit today? Using that same 14-day window. The Cruise Ship Alliance, which is a global alliance, have now used that.
D'Elsing says various countries are using the 14-day window in different ways.
So it shows that when we took the decision in Cabinet on Thursday, we were even ahead of WHO.
Feasible is it when, we have close business relations with China?
Yeah.
Chinese nationals may have to come in here for business. They may just need to come in for a day or two. So I have to isolate.
We will have to put all those things on hold. The health of the country is more important right now. The world has to do what it has to do to protect its population.
Some continue to question whether or not Carnival should be cancelled.
Absolutely out of the question. There is no evidence, there is no rationale for that.
And finally, the World Health Organization's Director General Tedros Ghebreyesus says the risk of the coronavirus becoming more widespread globally remains high, and he is calling on all countries to be prepared.
It's important to underline that 99% of the cases are in China, and 97% of the deaths are in Hubei province. This is still first and foremost an emergency for China. We continue to work closely with the Chinese government to support its efforts to address this outbreak at the epicenter. That's our best chance of preventing a broader global crisis. Of course, the risk of it becoming more widespread globally remains high. Now is the moment for all countries to be preparing themselves.
And that's news, but for the very latest, visit us at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook, and sign up for our breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We're also on Izumi Media in bus terminals, as well as screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. You can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM and Capital Media HD 99.3 FM.